I modded Halo 2, so every single enemy is the final boss, Tartarus. His hammer will one-hit you if you get anywhere close to him, he takes about 1,000,000 bullets to die, so can I beat the game on Legendary with thousands of angry monkeys in my way? Let's see. I start off the first mission by just trying to run by them all in this hallway, and it works much better than I thought it would, and I get a checkpoint in the next room really easily. So now that I have the high ground, I decide to do some science. It takes exactly 50 seconds of concentrated turret fire to kill one Tartarus. Fun. Now, I hear all of the comments saying, Tartarus is invincible unless Johnson hits him with his beam rifle. To which I say, yes, except I modded his invincibility out, because outside of the final level, I couldn't disable his invincibility in any way, beam rifle or no. I'm not smart enough to say why, but, I mean, he has enough health anyway to make this run very annoying, trust me. I make my way into the first hangar, and you'll see what my strategy will be for basically the entire run. Find any high ground that they can't path to, and shoot them with my infinite ammo. Now, if you want to yell at me about the infinite ammo, how about you go into this hangar, run out of ammo before killing one of them, and then have to punch a dozen Tartarus to death without dying once. It's impossible. You can't do it. So, I spend 30 minutes just mindlessly shooting all of them from up here, and then I jump down to leave. But the door isn't open. I look back and I see two guys stuck in the tube, and then I flounder around like an idiot, and they chase me down and I die. Time to spend another 30 minutes just left-clicking. I do that, then I bait out the guys in the tube, and then the final wave spawns in, and god damn it, I screwed the mod up. So, I spent a couple of hours double-checking every squad in every level to make sure I didn't mess any others up. Completely certain I didn't mess anything else up, I go back and I spend a third 30 minutes clicking all of their heads. After 3 hours of attempting this room and fixing the mod, I finally clear the first real room of the game. At this point, I was thinking that this challenge would just be shooting them from above, but then I run into the next hangar and find out that Tartarus isn't bothered getting his hands dirty on the front line with his troops, manning the turret himself and giving himself some range. These guys specifically, though, are pretty easy, and with some cheeky corner peeking, I can get a foothold in the next room and then clear it out. Next up is the first actual hard part of the run. Coming up into this room, there are two Tartarus that I cannot kill with high ground, and then, when I run into this hallway up ahead, it has about a dozen more, and one with a turret overlooking the whole hallway. Then, if I do get through the hall, I need to get up these stairs that have another turret and 5 more Tartarus running right at me. After about 50 deaths here, I finally decide to just jump up here and walk by with confidence. And it works. I keep this confidence strategy going, and I just walk by everyone in this hall and the entire outside area on my first try. Excuse me? Pardon me? I'm just gonna sneak by you here. Then, I extremely slowly, I cannot stress this enough how long it takes to kill a group of Tartarus. I extremely slowly clear out this elevator, until it starts menacingly approaching, and I have not gotten a checkpoint. There is no safe high ground up here where they cannot path to, so I have to kill all of them legit by screwing with them on these stairs like a real gamer does. Again, I want to stress, I've been shooting them for 20 minutes before I have to do this stressful dance with them on the stairs. It is terrifying to do this kind of thing after 20 minutes of mindless shooting. The rest of the level, though, is simple to just run by, and I make it to the final room. Now, if you couldn't tell by the fact that I mess up the mod in every video I make, I messed up the mod again, even after double checking. In the worst way, too. One of these Tartaruses, Tartari, whatever. One of them has a plasma rifle, so I need to be extra careful. So, unless I want to redo this whole level again, just to not have to deal with this guy that has a plasma rifle, I need to carefully play chicken with them in this door. I bait them close, and then back up to close the door so they run back to their normal post, and I do it again and again until they all die. Anyway, while figuring out this room, I do find a way to get the game to push you out of bounds. Neat. The first level is down, and on to the next. Tartarus can apparently wear the special elite armor. Double neat. Anyway, you can just jump over the first half of this mission, and then vehicle sections are mostly very easy in this challenge, so let's just gloss over this mission. It took me 10 minutes to beat. Just like the all-hunter run in Halo 3, any vehicle Tartarus is in will take forever to die. I'm talking over 10 scorpion shots to kill a ghost. It ends up being so frustrating trying to kill everything on the bridge that I end up just driving by in the Warthog instead. As I said before, confidence is the best strategy in this challenge. This section here was awful. It would take a dozen rockets to kill either of the ghosts when they kill me in 4 bullets. And also, a wraith is bombarding me the entire time. I kill one of the ghosts once in about 20 minutes of attempts. I only make it by when I successfully get a hijack off and speed by. Now, the next section is even worse. I'll just tell you right now, I think wraiths with Tartarus in them are invincible. Like, you can't kill them. I won't show you all of the clip because it's 3 minutes long, but I spent 3 minutes constantly planting grenades into this wraith, and it did not die. I instead concentrate on all the ghosts and the wild Tartarus walking around. That was apparently the wrong move according to Cortana.
Concentrate on the wraiths, they're the biggest threat.
But I kill everything except the 2 wraiths, and then I try to focus down one of them. It doesn't die, but after long enough, the Phantom with reinforcements comes in, so I have to just run away. With confidence, of course. Shortly after, the Pelican comes down anyway, and then for some reason, when I get the checkpoint as the door across the plaza opens, the wraiths just despawn. I mean, check this out. There's a wraith bullet in the air, and then 2 seconds later, the wraith that shot it is just gone. I'm not complaining though, I was on this section alone for a very long time. Still, with no idea how to kill wraiths, I move on. Now, I thought the Scarab section would be easy because of this sneaky spot you can stand on the gun in the front to kill everything inside. And then, I found out that this spot only works until the Scarab stops moving. Then, it adjusts its gun, and it pushes me off and the spot no longer works. I could kill maybe 3 of them before this happens. However, I found that standing on the very edge of the gun after this, that they wouldn't attack me because they're stupid monkeys. So, after clearing the top, I start baiting all of the guys inside, and it was terrifying. It took about 15 minutes of boring, monotonous gameplay to clear the people on the top, and then it took another 10 or 15 minutes of no-mistake, sweaty-palmed grenade throwing to get the guys inside. This took me many attempts, and every time I had to slowly clear out the guys on top with no real interesting gameplay. Like I said, it was like a 10 or 15 minute reset if I died. The last guy though, who was the pilot, just stood there, which is funny because I did have the extra enemy awareness skull on. Anyway, that level took me way longer than expected. Next one's gonna be real easy, right? Well, it was. There's tons of high ground they can't reach, and also they are too big to go through these doors. The level does take me an hour because killing any of them is super slow, but I only die 3 times. Killing the replaced sentinels up in these spots was extra annoying. I breeze through and get to the required banshees that get destroyed by Tartarus before I get to them. Wait, what? Okay, this is a problem. Luckily, my checkpoint is just before they get blown up, so if I rush there immediately, I can reach one of them just in time. I just have to have a little confidence. Then, I immediately have to deal with Tartarus-piloted banshees that kill me extremely fast and take so long to kill that it is not worth it. Luckily, you can just fly to the end of the level if you manage to lose them. Now, I stupidly wasn't recording for the first half of this next mission, so enjoy this footage of my Jackal Sniper run. Just know that this first room was actually really easy because I had high ground, and it was just annoying to hunt down all of them with the wacky places that the flood spawn in this game. I didn't die once, but the room did take me about half an hour. And the elevator was also really easy, because their pathing on it was awful. I could just stand up here and they would not decide to run up to me, and almost all of them got stuck in their weird spawn places. About 80% of them probably never made it onto the elevator. Now this room is where I realized I wasn't recording, and as you can tell by the footage, I was just sick of shooting them from above and wanted to actually fight them on common ground. I could have hopped up to where the skull is and killed all of them from up here, but god, that was boring and I had no footage to show in this video, and I wanted to actually fight something. So, after 3 or 4 solid hours that I actually enjoyed, I finally got them all and made it out of this room. It was so much fun. The next area, I just had to kite them around the circle. The cutscene doesn't start until you kill them all. No real issue here though, like everything else, it just takes forever. Now these guys at the top looked friendly until I hit the elevator button and got jump scared off. That did help me learn that sending up kills them though, so that's nice. I get up the elevator pretty easily after killing them like that. Now for the cable room. Because I'm being chased, I can only get 1 or 2 hits off at a time on the cables as I go around, but I do get them all cut after like 5 laps. Thank God Tartarus is not faster than me like the elites in my Ultra Elite run. Sneaking by all of these guys in this hallway with my invisibility was maybe the most fun I had in this whole challenge. It was like a puzzle game. Finding the exact series of movements to sneak by was just awesome. And finally getting a checkpoint at the top was such a good feeling. The rest of the level was just baiting them into doorways because they're too tall, and then a normal boss fight because changing the bosses breaks things in weird ways. Now, I know that people don't like me skipping levels, but here's the thing, I like skipping levels. There's a skip for Delta Halo, so we're just gonna brush past that level. It didn't take that long, besides me getting lost because I didn't know exactly where to go out of bounds. I do take a second to take a quick shower, though. Now, for the level that took me the longest in my Halo 2 all Jackal Snipers run, Regret. The start was pretty easy. I even found a spot where I could chill with the boys for a bit. They wouldn't hurt me. Anyway, I just run around this circle just surviving until the gondola shows up. Then I kited as many as I could off of the gondola and then sent off. A few were still on, but standing up here makes easy work of them. I get to the next area and find a cool statue that I guess belonged to this guy. Getting into the underwater elevator just took me 15 minutes of boring high ground shooting in this room. And now, I perfected the timing for jumping over them in the last level, so this entire underwater section and this hallway was very easy. On to the outside again. The next gondola was free as well, and then I got this nice spawn after a cutscene. Thanks, Halo. I was worried about the Regret fight, but just taking a few seconds to look, is there a Tartarus right under Regret? If not, I can hop on him. That was all that was necessary to not die. This whole level only took an hour, which was a very pleasant surprise. For the next level, I had my confidence strats, so it actually only took me less than 10 minutes to vault over all the Tartarus in both inside sections. making it to the end very quickly. But now I have a big issue. In the final area, the flood normally comes storming down the cliff, but apparently Tartarus couldn't care less and just stays up there. However, there is an easy trick, and I make it out of bounds with just 2 good crouch jumps. I search everywhere and I cannot find any of them. So I start walking real far away to check way out there, and I find these 2 guys really struggling. I put them out of their misery, and then I do a couple more loops around the arena, clean up some more before heading back, finding more stuck monkeys, killing them, and then heading back inside the arena and clearing the rest finishes out the level. The next level is a vehicle level, so imagine beating this level on Legendary without killing any enemy vehicles. That's basically all this level was. Skip the gondola with this trick, and then have a jog with my buddies I met in Regret, and finish the level. Now it's time. The hardest level in Halo. Gravemind. Luckily the first room has some high ground, so that's good. Wasn't too bad. I kite the guys in the next hallway one by one, and then I sneak into the next area. Then, I run into these guys who just felt like giving me a checkpoint. Thanks, I guess. I use my confidence and skills to vault over a few dozen more to get to the prison section very easily. Corridors were no issue now that I had the jump timing down. I flounder around trying to find out how to kill them for about 20 minutes before I almost get flung up onto this arch. Now I have a plan. I get up there and I start clearing them out. I quickly get a checkpoint and head down to save the first group of Marines. Then, I carefully take out all the apes guarding them and make my way in. For the next group on the bottom floor, I just find a bunch of cheeky angles to take out all the Tartarus. I save the next group and then hop onto the arch to take out the last bunch of monkeys, and now, Chief's jumping skills are put to the test yet again as I hop over all of them until the final arena, where I just kite all of them one by one. This level actually wasn't hard either. It turns out that spending 3 hours in a room with a dozen of them a few levels back made me real good at dodging these fuckers.
Get the index and find a way out of here before things get really ugly.
For all you skip haters, this next level has another massive one, and the level after that is just hopping over them again until the throne room where I clear them out from up here. The back half of this room is a lot of repeating strategies you've seen already, and they're not interesting to show, so we'll move right on to the last level. And now, it's time to meet my arch-nemesis again, Wraiths. Here are 2 required Wraiths, which I still thought were impossible to kill. I spend a while trying to get them down, but I can't just spam grenades on one of them forever, because the second one is close by enough that he'll just kill me. I actually take a break from this level for a day because I'm not sure what to do. But with Clear Eyes the next day, I end up finding a cheeky way to despawn them using checkpoints like back in Metropolis. Then, in the inside section, I jump and sneak through the next halls, and I end up in the little prison room. I thought this room specifically would be awful, but it turns out monkeys are stupid. If you stand right here, they will just never approach you for some reason. Guys, I really wish Tartarus was smarter. This video would be 10 minutes longer and much more interesting if he was. Anyway, I get outside, and look who it is. 3 Wraiths. It doesn't seem too bad, right? I mean, just fly by them, the Scarab will follow. Well, I can, but the Scarab will not follow until these guys are dead. Which sucks, because again, as far as I could tell, they were never going to die. I sped ahead and tried to find some weird seam or something I could use to get inside early, but I mean, I couldn't find anything. And after 10 minutes of faffing around, the Scarab had not killed a single Wraith. Luckily, heading back in the building and getting a loading message seems to despawn the enemies in the Wraiths. Thank God. So now, the Scarab can make its way down, open the way, and I can head in. I sneak by and load the final boss, and... the mods I did to Tartarus crashed the boss fight. I did some testing, and it always happens, so unfortunately it's a little anticlimactic, but the run ends here. If I didn't crash, I would be able to beat it. I mean, I killed Tartarus in every other level, way more, and in more difficult situations, so I still count this as a win. Hopefully this video was decent. I mean, the strategies I used were all pretty boring, and I feel like I didn't have any real interesting stuck points in this run. It only took me about 15 hours total to complete, and it felt way easier than I thought it would be. I got a couple more videos in the pipeline. I have a highlights video I edited from one of my old streams that should be up within a week. I have a series of Halo streams planned that you should hear about soon. And I also have a couple one-off streams that I have ideas for. Next up, I have a non-Halo challenge run that I think is going to be my favorite video I've made yet. That should be coming out soon-ish. Anyway, thanks again to all of my subs for the patience as I went away for a year, and like I said in my last video, I'm back at least for a bit. So, if you're new and liked this video, hit the like button, maybe the subscribe one if you want, and I hope you all have an amazing day.